Come on, computer. Move faster, please.
Sometimes when it's moving slow, I need a reboot.
Yeah. I mean, it is moving slow.
I need to close out some apps or something too. Or some,
I did.
some tabs.
Yeah. All the tabs are closed, as far as I know. Yo, what's good? What is good? So I should just click the live button over here. There we go, baby. Yo, okay, there we go. All right, man. We live on the YouTubes. We live on we in the house on TikTok. What it do? What it do? I kind of agree. Hold on. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo, yo. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. My mic sounds nice. I don't know how to do this because I'm going to be over here. So, let me get the... There we go. Okay. All right, let's get the... All right. I don't know if anybody's typing anything on here. I feel like... Are there comments on YouTube? Because I can't see anybody's comments. I don't know. This is a lie, he says. Interesting. Is this a lie? I didn't make this. So before y'all come and act like this is a public service announcement, pun intended, I want you to know that I didn't make this. This guy made this. I just screenshotted it because I knew that you guys would say, if I said it, it was a lie. So I just thought it was funny to see other men say this. I just really thought it was hilarious to see other men actually, to see other men point this out. And this dude makes a bunch of just like funny, like little toxic memes and stuff like that, little videos or whatever. But I just thought it was funny. Like I screenshotted this like weeks ago. I just thought it was hilarious because I was like, they always act like I'm lying when he used to be here mutual too. So because he said it is true. No. But he said it because it's true. That's the point. Right? It's not because he said it that it's true. It's it's such a widely known thing that he made a meme out of it because he knows that it's very relatable. People don't make memes about stuff that aren't relatable, right? I don't know, like we know how memes work, right? Like, do you understand? You see what I'm saying? Like, he made this because he knew that a bunch of men and probably women too, but he knew a bunch of people would be able to relate to it. Why go if you could find the video, if you could find this dude, you will see waves. I don't got no waves. Thank thank you, Mike. Yes, I am up late tonight. So let's talk about it. Why is growth never an option for men? Hmm? I'm very curious. Luna, what's going on?
I just wanted to say hello. And also, I have suggested to male friends that, hey, maybe you might need to get some therapy for the situation you're going through because it is traumatic. And they're like, well, therapy's not for men. And I said, how would you know that? And they're like, it just isn't. I'm like, so you've never been to therapy, so you have no clue if it actually works or not. Okay. But they're the same ones that keep screaming mental health with men.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm done with y'all. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say we're no longer friends. Because
Yeah.
that was too toxic. That was like, all right, I can't.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's a wild one, man. You when you try to offer stuff like that up to your friends and they just reject it, it's pretty frustrating.
Because I couldn't help them. I've never been through this situation. There's no way I could actually give any advice other
Mhm.
than that. Because it's like, I'm not a man. I can't tell you how you should feel. Like, this is beyond me. So it was
Mhm.
like, I'm suggesting something. It was like, they just got mad about it. Why do women just go straight to therapy? I'm like, because I can't help you. I'm not a therapist. I wouldn't know what to tell you. And they just get mad. I was just like, all right, stay miserable.
I,
Good luck.
yeah, I understand. A lot of men will say they don't want to go to therapy, but then they'll dump all of their stuff on the women. So I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Why you're so adamant against therapy, but you need to talk to somebody. You know, because you would go talk to some woman in your life, your mom or your sister or your friend or whatever the case may be. But yep, that's
Like
what
I
it.
had sympathy, but it was just like there was nothing I could say to resolve the situation or to even be helpful. It was like, all right, like a deer in the headlights kind of situation. That's where I was at. Because I'm like, I can't do anything. I don't even know how to respond to this.
Yeah, no, ain't nothing you can say about it when they come back like that. You just gotta let it go. Um, but yeah, I appreciate you coming up, Luna.
Thank you.
Hopefully they listen to you in the future. Cause ain't nothing wrong with that. But hey, man. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about this because, like I said earlier, I just think it's funny. I really do. I just think it's funny how a lot of men will deny that this is the case. Even one dude already came in here and said this isn't true. What's not true? That men don't like growth, or that men don't try to be better people and then just find a woman who is willing to accept them where they're at. Are you telling me that that's not the case? Like men don't just go, well, I tried to make it work with this woman and she started to expect more out of me, and so I pivoted, or whatever. She left me, I left her, whatever the case may be, and now I'm going to just find somebody that's willing to accept me where I'm at. Like that's, come on. Come on, y'all. Let's not play dumb. Let's not play dumb. And my thing is I'm not even here to tell men to go to therapy and all of that stuff. Like I said earlier, I don't like to make that assumption, but I'm just saying that like, because what if you don't have access to it? But you can work on yourself though. Like you could take accountability for the situation you were just in, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it could be stuff like that. It could be like, hey, I'm gonna take accountability for the way the relationship ended, or like why did the relationship end, and like really unpacking it. What was she, if she broke up with you? What was she really trying to say, right? Like why did she break up with me? Blah 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 blah. Like really go through it. Like you can go through it and try to understand it, and then learn from that or whatever. But that never happens, right? Or rarely. I won't say that never happens. That rarely happens though. That rarely happens. And that's and I could see how that could be. I mean, that's frustrating. And then the thing that is like crazy is because a lot of times when men do move on and find the woman that is willing to accept them where they're at, they think it was like that's a thing that justifies what they thought the whole time, that it wasn't them. It was just like they didn't find the right person or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like that's usually how it's like, yeah, it wasn't me. It was, it was, I just didn't have the right person. Right. I didn't have the right woman. I didn't meet the right woman or whatever the case may be. It's a lot of that going on. It's a lot of that. So, yeah, I would love to hear from y'all. Anybody that disagrees with this, be interested to hear what is your take on this. Just went live. Just jumped on a live. That explains the psyche of my ex for sure. That's sad. That's sad. It really is. But yeah, that's how it is, man. It's pretty rough out here. Let me see. I don't know where Tiff went. I was gonna put her up in here now, but oh well. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. Okay.
What's up, public?
Chilling.
You're on here late. Well, late. I'm sorry. It's late for me, but
It's late for me too. I'm tired. I don't know if you can see it in my eyes. I'm tired. I can't even lie.
same. No, I dropped down because I was like, I wanted to come up and comment about the creator because Sim and I had like, unfollowed him because I just felt like his content was kind of like a little disingenuous, and we actually had words, and he was like, oh, but I give it to women too. And I'm like, what are you giving it to women for? Like, I don't know. Like, he tried to do the whole both sides thing, I feel like. But I think it's also, anyway, I don't want to come up and have it just be about his content necessarily, but about the prompt. I do find it interesting that, like, you talk about this, about why is it so hard for them to want to do any kind of like real admission or growth on their behalf, to just like actively say, I want to be a better person. That to me is just kind of wild, because why would you not want to be forever trying to be a better person than how you arrived on this earth, right? Like,
Fair.
so
I think what a lot of men think is the pathway to like betterment is lifting weights and making money, though. That's the problem.
yeah. And I think that's it's so much tied to ego being the center of a man's being, toxic masculinity, being misinformed as to how you were raised, everything involving that. So it's absolutely is just, oh, go to the gym and that takes care of it, and that's just like your body. Like, there's so much more inclusivity that in surrounding your mental and your emotional health.
Big Bam said that's so silly to say. Why is that silly to say, Big Bam? Very, very curious to hear why that. Why would that be so silly to say? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Huh? I don't know. That just seems like a projection of like a very, very closed-minded, simple-minded person. And to project that as men, like the day after Father's Day, is weird. Um,
Why is that a
I'll say
project?
this. I think that if that were the case,
Wait, Bam.
if those men were the majority, I think
Wait.
the world would look a lot
Can
different.
you hear me? Am I not talking?
Oh, no, I didn't hear you.
Okay. I want to ask you, how is that a projection?
Because men don't typically feel that way. For you to say that men think that getting money and lifting weights, think about what you're saying. Men think that getting money and lifting weights is how. That's like literally red pill rhetoric. Yeah, to a red pill person, yeah. But to the average man who like would actually care about his own mental health, no. So to project that as if that's the state of men is weird.
Why do you think? Do you know what projection is?
Jesus Christ. This dude just asking me, do I know what projection is? Yeah, I do.
Okay. Then you think that I think that? You think that I think that lifting weights and making money is?
No, I'm saying you are projecting that men think that, and that's not the case.
But that's not what projection is. Do you see what I'm saying? So
It
just
is though.
no. Okay. I'm gonna help.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's subconsciously you have correlated it. You yourself. And you're projecting that as to say that is what men think. And it's not what men think. That's what a subset of men think. Yeah. That's not what typically men think though.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like the way the narrative is painted about men, if that is truly how the majority of men function, the world would look a lot different.
What would the world look like if men didn't focus on money and lifting weights?
No,
What do you think?
not focusing on money and lifting weights. What I'm telling you is right now, society would be lawless.
Hmm?
Who do you think upholds the Who do you think upholds the laws of society?
What upholds the laws? What are you
Okay,
talking about?
the laws, the principles, the morals, the structures of society. Who do you think upholds
Those
that?
are all different things. So
Yeah,
pick
I know. I know they're all different things, and they all align and correlate as to how we have a comfortable, somewhat functional society.
bro.
Right?
You're
Right or
using a
wrong?
lot of words that I don't think you know what they. I'm not even playing with you. Like laws and morality are not the same thing. They don't correlate at all. Laws and morality don't have anything to do with one another. Believe it or not, morality
Okay, so
is something different. Laws is something different. That's what I'm at. So what are you? You said who upholds the laws? You talking about the police? You see what I'm saying? Who
no,
upholds
but
the
okay,
morality of
okay,
society?
okay.
Like what are you talking about? That doesn't.
Yeah.
I doesn't make
So
sense.
so laws are typically based on what society socially we deem moral, right? That's what it's supposed to be aligned with, right? You don't steal from people. It's illegal to steal from people because morally that's incorrect, right? You get that? You shouldn't unalive people. It's illegal to unalive people because morally that's not correct. You get that, right?
No, no, because there are state sanctioned unalivements. And there are and white collar you won't even call it crime but like um uh uh um see what's it called corporations steal from working class people all the time and there's no laws against it, right? And they still like, so I don't know what you're talking about. It is, once again, the laws have nothing to do with that. They said law. They have a law right now. I can't remember what state it's in or what city it's in, but it's essentially like illegal to be homeless right now, right? Like
Right.
if you have like your stuff out or whatever, like on the street, they'll like then like if you have like a tent or whatever, they'll like fine you. It's like something like that. It sounds like, oh, they said Florida. It sounds like vagrancy laws from like Reconstruction era, right? Like for black
Yeah.
people. So it sounds
And
very much like
somebody
that.
somewhere, someone somewhere, felt like that was just. Now, we know that in certain environments, that can vary. That's very subjective, right? So rich people finally felt like, oh, it's bad for the economy. It's bad for, the housing, whatever. You know what I mean? They justify why they create laws like that. We get that. But again, right now, if what we are proposing about men, oh, all the bad men are running the world, if that were true, the law would look totally different. Morals would look totally different. Our society wouldn't be civilized.
You think we live in a
Because what's
system?
stopping a bad man from being a bad man every day, all the time?
I mean, most men are. I would say.
No, see, you see what you're about to say? I'm glad you said it. You know,
I would
don't
say,
change it. You just was about to say it. Most men, that's what you was about to say. Most men are bad every day. That's not true.
but they are though.
What? Bro,
I
do
do
you
think
know what
most
that
men are
looks
bad
like?
every day.
Do you know what it actually looks like
Do
for
you know what it actually looks
most
like?
men to say that they can just be bad every day? That's lawlessness.
That's
That's
not
an
lawless.
uncivilized world. That's an undisciplined world. That's no
The
laws.
world is
That's
very
no morals. That's no ethical code. No one's safe.
Man, stop. Where are the ethics? Most men are unethical. Most men don't. Most men lack integrity. I talk about that all the time. How there's an integrity deficiency within men. The world is lawless. The world has no morals. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Why would there?
The
How
ability
can the
to, because
world?
now
Wait,
we
wait,
got to
wait.
do an
Hold on,
equation.
man. Hold on. How can you say that in a place that has where there are people like Jeff Bezos and there are people like Warren Buffett, but then there are also people living under a bridge, and you're talking about morals and ethics. You're saying the world will be lawless. Literally, there are homeless people that live a half a block away from, like, I know I could they live right here by the freeway. There's a freeway right here.
Right.
There's a bunch of homeless
Right.
people that
And
live
you
right
just
there.
named one or two men. And you just named one or two men. So what? See, I'm so glad you said that, because if what you said was true, then every one of us, you, me, anybody who was functional and not, wasn't homeless, we'd all have the money that Jeff Bezos had, and then everybody who didn't would just be homeless. That's not how the world actually works, though, right? Because the ability to right now, me, you, any man has the ability to probably unalive most people they see on a regular basis. You know that, right?
Sure.
Okay, so now if most men, think about what you're saying, was that way, half of us wouldn't even be here right now.
So your proof that men aren't bad every day is that they don't walk around unalive.
No, my proof that most men, the world that we're trying to project, that most men are bad and the bad men are, if that were true, the world would look totally different, because most men have the ability to unalive a good portion of the people that they see just on a regular
reiterated
basis.
what I just said in a different way, but that's what you
Yeah,
just said.
yeah. So that's true, though.
I think
You're
that's a
saying it in a
weird.
way
Hold
that
on,
would
man.
not suggest what I said was true, but it is true.
Man, what I'm trying to say, convey to you, is a few things. A, naming something that extreme, saying that because every man isn't out here unaliving people means that the world is in order, is wild. Because most men don't, just because you don't have to unalive people to be bad. Is that your only, when you think of bad men, you only think of men who want to commit mass unalivement?
No. Most men have the ability to do.
Sir, hold on. Y'all let me finish. Okay. Secondly, yeah, I named Jeff Bezos, but I don't know if you know how the system works. It takes a group of people to uphold the system. You kind of alluded to it earlier, but I'll elaborate on that. So if most men were good, if most men had morals, then there wouldn't be any homeless people. You see what I'm saying? Like, because we wouldn't allow a person like Jeff Bezos to hoard the wealth, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you're not making that connection. It's one man who has the wealth. Don't get me wrong, but there's 10 million men who prop up that one man. That's my point. There are 100 million, actually, it's more like 100 million men prop up that one man. That's what you're not understanding. So for Jeff Bezos to exist, just so we're clear, for Jeff Bezos to exist and for homeless people, there's no way, there's no way and I'm gonna steal this from Tupac. Tupac said this. He said, "There is no way that you should have a plane and somebody doesn't have a house. That doesn't make sense, right? So who is upholding that system? Men like you and me, everyday citizens. We're the ones who aren't doing anything about it. So yeah, I disagree. I think most men walk around all day. I think most men just do bad stuff, like constantly. That's what I think. I don't. I think men
I
like
don't
it.
think
I think
that
men
that
lie.
doesn't
I think
correlate
men are
though.
lying all the time. I think men are actively working against oppressed people. Like that's what I believe. Like you could
Bro, listen,
you could
that
try
what
to
you just said, and I listened to
convince me
everything you just.
otherwise, but you're definitely gonna have to use a better argument than most men aren't running around trying to unalive people. Therefore, they're not bad men. That's a
No,
wild
brother.
thing.
Listen, everything that you just said, I just heard everything you just said. The issue here lies the issue, right? People like Jeff Bezos exist not because the mass majority of people allow him to exist, but because the people who do have the power are the minority. That's the problem. So people who are saying, "Oh, everybody is bad," they're the people who actually should band together. Because just because you didn't do something doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Because a lot of people don't do things because they don't have the ability to, or they don't see the power in themselves to do it. That's what Tupac was talking about. So if we're going to quote Tupac, we got to quote Tupac right. Right. So Tupac also was talking about the room. Right. "Oh, we are hungry. Please let us in." That was the black community he was talking about. The people in that room, that was the Jeff Bezos. We're the majority. The good people are the majority.
You're talking
Those,
in
those.
circles. Just so you know, because you're making my point right now. You're right. So Pac was saying that he said, what did he say? He said, eventually, the
Mhm.
people that are outside, the 99%, they're just gonna bum rush the door because we have the power to do so. When you say, oh, the people who have the power, we have the power, but our power comes in the collective and not the individual. Their power can come from an individual because they have
Exactly.
so much
So this is
money.
exactly. So you're proving my
Not exactly. I
yes.
did
So
prove your
so
point.
the majority of men are not bad.
Of
That's what I'm
course they
saying.
are.
The
Of course
people,
they
the
are.
ones that are bad, are also the ones who hold power. The issue is this: you're taking away from being the collective because you're saying that the people who you should be in the collective with are the bad people because you're
No,
blaming them for the things that the minority are doing. You're blaming the
no, that's
people
not
who
that's
you
not
should
what
be
I'm saying.
singing with and bum rushing the door with
I'm gonna
for the
I'm gonna tell
things
you
that.
why. I'm gonna show you why in real time what I'm talking about. So you have a man asking other men, why is it so hard for us to grow, right? And it is hard for us to grow. It really is. Most men don't seek help to grow. We know that. Okay. And then you have a man, Big Bam, coming up here to distort and obfuscate and muddy the waters. So you are actually a part of the problem. Like, okay, yeah, you're not running around unaliving people, but why would you come up here to disagree with the man asking men, hey, why don't we learn to grow? Like, why can't we be
Because who
better?
has told you that?
Who told me that?
Yeah,
Who told me what? That
don't
men
grow. Yeah,
don't want to
why
grow?
is that not your reality? That's not my reality. I'm
You're
around
doing
men
it
who
right
grow on a
now.
daily basis.
I've been spacing with you for 6 months and you've been saying the same ignorant stuff for 6 months. You have not grown. So I don't know. What do you
What?
mean?
Okay, name what's ignorant.
What you're saying right now is, I just told you what you're saying right now is
What
ignorant.
I'm saying right now is ignorant. That I
It's
know
you
people who
didn't
have
know
grown.
what you
So
were
now
talking.
look at my real life. What do you
Hold on.
do for a
I'll be
living?
specific. I'll be
No, what do
specific.
you do for a living?
I'll be specific, brother. Who cares? I'll be specific. So you just said initially you said I was projecting. You didn't know where projection was. That was ignorant. Right now you just made my point by pointing out when you said let's keep talking about what Tupac said. He said, "Be you hungry? Please let us in." I said, "Yeah." He's talking about the majority of people. Eventually, they're gonna rise up and take power
Right,
and
and your point
overrun
that the majority of
over
people
and
was bad.
over. Hold on, man.
So you
Please.
distorted your own point right
Hold on,
there.
hold on. You're not making sense. So they're eventually going to rise up and take power. The collective, the majority will take power from the minority because the collective has more power than the minority. We do, right? We just have to come together. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So that's what I mean. Like you are still saying the same ignorance. Like you be on these apps all day to do what? That's ignorant. To do
Who be
what?
on these apps all day, bro? I got a whole career. That's what I'm saying. I don't do what you do. First of all, I have a whole career. I haven't even been on this app in damn near probably 2-3 weeks. That's the first thing. Number two, you don't even realize you just now talked about the majority being who was outside of the door, while simultaneously I'm telling you, hey, that majority is also the people you need to acknowledge as the same as you. You, when I first got in here, was painting the narrative that the majority were the people inside of the room. So you just really unalived your own point as you were talking. Tupac was speaking as if we are the majority. The 99% are the people outside the door who are singing. Right now, you're sitting in here telling people the majority of people, you literally just said this out of your mouth, are the bad people. It like literally, are you listening to what you're saying? You contradicted yourself 2 seconds later.
This is crazy.
No, it's not. Yes, it's crazy that you don't realize you just contradicted yourself, dude.
I think what you're missing is the fact that
No, man. You just
I
said
didn't
the collective, bro. You can't take it back. We all heard you in real time.
hold on, Ben. First of all, I didn't say that. I was talking
Yes,
about
you
men.
did.
I didn't. I was talking about men in general, first and foremost. I didn't say everybody. I said men in general, right? Secondly, what I'm saying is, once again, so that we're all on the same page, hopefully this time, for the third time, I'll explain it to you. The collective we have the power over the majority. But men collectively aren't about growth. We are about individuality. Once again, I'll go back to Pac. Pac said that everybody, he said everybody because he was just speaking about people in general, but he was talking about people in America, right? He said that they're like Trump. They're like smush, 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 back, 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 smush, 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 back, back. Like that's what he was saying. That was his description of everybody. They're individual. Everybody is individualistic, right? So we have a consumer mindset. We're individualistic, and we like MLK would say, rugged individualism. That's what we have, right? So everybody in the country is on some like, I gotta get mine. I gotta get mine. Mainly men are like that. Men are not communal. Men are not like, hey, we as the collective, we as the community, we need to come together. We need to help each other. That's not what most men, that's not what type of time we're on. We're on some like, I got to get mine, bump them over there. I got to get mine, bump them over there. I got to get mine, bump them over there. Smush, 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 back, back, back. He literally said everybody's like Trump. That's what he said, which I found to be funny because Pac didn't like Trump back then. But he said everybody's like, he was like, everybody's like Trump. I'm saying, I'm honing the message, and I'm saying most men are like Trump, but not rich. Most men don't think about growth in any other way than how much money can I make? And then they think therapy is, let me go to the gym. That's what most men think. You say it's red pill. That's the new word for it. But that's an old idea. That's not a new idea. We just call it red pill in 2024. That's an old idea though, brother. That's not new. I heard that growing up in the 90s. There's
I
nothing
never
new.
heard that. I never heard that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. We probably live in two different lifestyles, brother. None of the men that I was raised by, none of the men that I'm around functions that way at all. Like I'm around successful men, and I'm around men who have a good understanding of who they are and are mental. Like, but to make this claim that that's just how most men are, it's insane.
It's really not insane.
It
And
is. It's a projection of what you see on a regular basis.
it's
I
not a
know men
projection of what I
have
see.
healthy
No.
psyches, brother, and have healthy mental health. So
No.
I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, most men feel like their money. I know dudes who would choose their mental health over money on a day-to-day basis. That's just real life for me, but
What percentage,
for you, maybe not.
what percentage of men go to therapy?
I don't know what percentage of men go to therapy.
Okay.
What I
Okay.
do,
I'll ask it. No, wait. I'll ask it a different way. Do you think most men go to therapy?
no, and I also don't think that therapy is the only way for you to
I'm not. That's just.
address
I'm
your
just
mental
starting.
health.
Sir, I'm just starting there. So most men don't go to therapy. Okay. So in what ways do men address their mental health issues if they have them? In what
Right.
ways do
I
we do it?
also think that we live in a society to where it's comfortable. People are comfortable with men not addressing that. As a matter of fact, it's healthier for other people for men to not address their mental
Who
health.
told men it's healthier to not address their mental health?
The people who depend on men not addressing their mental health.
Who are these people?
A lot of times, women and children. Society. Society. Yeah, you laughing, but daddy's saying, hey man, my mental health ain't intact. I might need to take a day or a week. That don't feed the family.
Damn, that was
Yeah,
funny.
your dad
Bro,
taking a
I
mental
promise
health
you,
week
damn, I'm not
don't
gonna even
feed the
hold you,
family,
man.
bro. Like, let's
I
keep it
really
100.
didn't. Look. Hold on.
No,
I'm
ain't
not
no
funny.
hold on. We
Hold on,
having a
man.
conversation. We don't got to do
I
the
really
theatrics,
thought.
bro.
I
Look, we having a
promise you.
conversation. Stop with the
Man,
theatrics.
why are you talking while I'm talking?
Cause
I really hold on, man. Damn, this shit is crazy. I really thought you. I promise you. I was like, there's no way he's gonna lie when the truth will do. There's no way. There's no way this man is gonna lie when the truth will do. We are literally in Men's Mental Health Month. Literally. We are literally in Men's Mental Health Month. Who tells men not to address their mental health? Women and children?
society.
Sir, stop playing. Stop it. Who benefits from men pushing their traumas and their issues
Women and
down?
children. Women and children. Because men unalive. I'm so glad you just asked me that way. Bro, you be pushing yourself into the fire. Stop while you ahead. You be so caught up doing your theatrics that you run right into the knife that you put out. Who benefits from it? It's not the man who unalived himself. It's not dad who worked himself into an early grave. It's the people who benefited from that. The benefits he left. Those are the people who benefit.
Can I offer up another group of people who benefit from it? Just so we could maybe have some
The top 1%.
and some clarity. The people who benefit from it the most are the 1% of people who we just were talking about.
Yeah, I just said the top 1%. Yeah.
I know what you said, but I want to answer it. So the capitalist who are the wealthiest people who have the most control? Who are they?
The ones who also
Name them.
benefit from consumerism.
Name them. Name five
Who
of them.
benefit? Wait a minute. Who contributes the most to consumerism?
Name the top five.
Wait.
Name the top five people who benefit from
brother,
consumerism.
you see, this is what I'm talking about. We be having a conducive conversation. We don't got to do that. Why are we not now? If we're talking about capitalism, why are we not addressing consumerism?
I just said name the people who benefit the most from consumerism. Name the top five people who benefit the most from consumerism.
Yeah, we don't got to go into that. We know about the Rothschilds.
Wait. Why not? Why not?
Because
we're there.
Because we know what the symbolism means.
The symbolism.
Yeah, it's still the same top 1%. Number one. So
And
the
who is
people
in the
who
top? And
control
who is in the top 1%, Bam?
YT people, YT men.
Finally. God dang. Wow. He wanted. So you did all of that to figure out a way to distance yourself from it as a black man. You could have just said YT men a long time ago, and I would have said, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you're not understanding that you're correlating two different things. You're correlating how men are working themselves into an early grave. Think about what you just said. Working themselves into an early grave, unaliving themselves. YT man is benefiting
For the capitalists.
for the capitalists.
Not for their families.
No. Let's see. You don't want to go into the other part. Consumerism is another biggest force. Guess who contributes to that the most?
Men.
No. No, not even close. Not even close.
Bam, stop.
Look the numbers up. No, it ain't no bam, stop. Look the numbers up. Not even close.
We got more important things. Let me read the super chat. Hey, I appreciate the super chat over here on YouTube.
All right, I thought so.
He
Boss.
said, "Hey, hold on, brother. I got to read the super chat. Hey, public, I appreciate you talking to these toxic men, but also I'd like to see some solo discussions of topics from you too, if possible. You're brilliant. It's them I don't have the patience for." Oh man, that's crazy. I appreciate you. Yeah, I do solo topics too. I start off usually talking talking. Oh, Bam drop, or did y'all drop him? Did y'all drop Bam? That was crazy. That was interesting. So yeah, that was crazy. That and this is what I'm saying, man. I don't understand why so many men lie when the truth will do. Like that was crazy. There was no need for that. Like what? What are we doing? What are we talking about? Women and children are to blame? Man, I'm ready to give up, man. I'm ready to I'm not gonna even hold. I'm ready to quit. The mothership gotta come soon, because this is crazy. Women and children are to blame. Women and children? But wait. Wait. I'm very intrigued by this. So, and I'm just saying it's the Bam's argument because he was doing everything to distance himself as a black man from the issue, because that's what a lot of black men like to do. And I hate to do it to us, but I got to talk about it once again. And I try not to bring up and single out black men, but I just want to have this conversation real quick to my brothers. Black men, you can't distance yourself from the patriarchy. You uphold it as well, first and foremost. Secondly, y'all cannot get up, because Bam is definitely this type of black man that said this type of stuff, that most black men don't have children. Most black men ain't married. Most black men aren't like most black men 18 to 24 ain't even getting no vagina. Like, what are you talking about? Most black men are unaliving for women and children. What? How can y'all points always run into each other? Y'all points always run into each other. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense, man. I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of y'all playing these games. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm talking about men not growing. And here y'all come to tell me how much men aren't growing. Men aren't growing. Hold on, wait a minute. We got to do this. Are you spamming the you got to go. Curly hair. Stop dating black men. Automatic block. We don't need that we don't need that. Why do we need that? Especially spamming with that. That's crazy. Saying that I was projecting, saying that I was projecting was also very funny. How was I projecting? I don't believe that. I don't believe that lifting weights and making money is the way for men to heal up. Like, what the fuck? I don't believe money is going to solve all of our problems. Like, what are you talking about? That's the opposite of what I believe. What was I projecting? I wasn't understanding. He tried to make it make sense. Like, you're projecting your idea of what you see. If that's what I see, what are you talking about? I'm not projecting that. That's what I see. I see men not growing. I see men addicted to not growing. I see men invested in not growing, actively working, pursuing not growing. Like, what? That's what I see every day. Every day on this app and in real life. That is not just on this app. That's not like, I see it every day in real life and on the app, and I've seen it for years. I've been a part of it even, I would say. I'll even say I've been a part of it. So I don't want to hear y'all talking about, oh, that's your circle or that's da-da-da-da. No, fool. Look at society. What are you talking about? Look at society. Like I said, how can you say men are about growth when how can you say men aren't bad and men and all this stuff, men want to do all these great things when there are a group of men, we call them the 1%ers, but they're not even, I got a secret to tell you guys. They're not even 1%. They're 1/10 of 1%. 1% sounds better. 1% is 10 times better than what the real number is. But because LeBron James is not in this group of people, just so we understand. Jay-Z is not in this group of people that I'm talking about. Oprah ain't in this group of people that I'm talking about. They got bosses. You see what I'm saying? They got bosses. They work for people still. Oprah works for people. She has partnerships and stuff like that. She works for people still. Jay-Z works for people. Oh, yeah. Like, come on. I'm not even talking about them. It is 1/10 of 1% of people who have all of this power, all of this money, all of this influence. And what upholds that? What keeps the people from just kicking the door, waving the 4-4? What keeps the people from doing that are regular people, everyday people voting against their best interests, coming in these conversations, derailing these conversations, going live every single day, men going live every day talking about what women need to do and talking about do women deserve abortion, abortions, and like stuff like that. Like, y'all think that stuff doesn't matter. Thoughts lead to actions. Thoughts lead to actions. Thoughts lead to actions. So if you get online every day and you go out in the world every day and you say this stuff every day, yes, more than likely you will act on it. More than likely you will act on it. That's just the reality. Yeah, deserve. Yes, I have many lives screenshotted of men specifically. I have women doing it too, but mainly men going live every day. Just the weirdest lives you can think. I'm like, what? Why are y'all doing that? That's such a weird, it's so crazy to me. And trying to mask it as help, like they're helping with, like, no, you're not. You're not, man. You're not doing anything. It's wild, man. No accountability whatsoever. Ever for men. No accountability for men, ever. Every man is gonna find a way, or not every man, but most of these men will try to find a way to excuse, other men's toxicity, downplay it, say it's not that serious. I don't see it. I don't see it. What? How don't you see it? What are you talking about? What up, Hertz?
Hey, bro. So, I'm listening, right? And I'm trying so hard because I'm trying to like stay woke.
Literally?
Yeah, because like I'm really interested in this, and I
Oh,
need stuff
gosh.
to like keep my mind occupied at night while I go to sleep. So this is like perfect for me. But this man had me triggered, okay? Because there's an article that came out a few years ago, and I think they have like a part 2 that says the rise of single lonely men.
Hey,
And the
wait,
reason,
Hertz. Wait, Hurts. I don't know. They saying you got me banned last time. I don't know if that's true or not, but it might be your name. But I did get banned and you was up here, but I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, can you change your name on TikTok? Do anybody know that?
Yeah. You gotta go to your here, I'll tell you. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna do this first.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that first. Just whatever. Yeah, you gotta go to you gotta go to your page and then go to your click on your name and then you can change it pretty much. Right? I'm pretty sure that's how you do it. Yeah. So yeah, do that and then come back. Cause I just gotta be careful. I don't know. They said don't change your name, but I'm just saying the TikTok is weird because it's an edit profile. TikTok is weird because I can play. There's a video. I played a video that was on TikTok, and they banned my live for playing a video that was on TikTok. So like, I don't know what the rules are, to be honest with you, when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So maybe it is her name. You know what I mean? Like maybe it is her name. I don't know. Use the 3. Yeah. You got to change up the spelling or something like that. Keep the name, but change up the spelling a little bit. Exactly, Wolf. Appreciate that. Yeah, do that and come back. I got you. Just gotta be careful. Yeah, I know. Hey, your name ain't crazy. You just TikTok think is crazy. TikTok, but that's the thing, Hurts. It doesn't, it's cool with you having it, but I don't know if seeing it on my screen, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how that works. Cause like I said, it's a different thing in the lives for whatever reason. I don't know. Cause like I said, I played I played a video of somebody's TikTok that is still up right now on their page. And then it banned me. And I'm like, how can I play a video on the same platform and you ban me in a live? So they obviously have different rules for lives. You see what I mean? But I don't know. Yeah. But I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't want you to change the name. I just want you to make it to where it don't, I don't know. I just don't want to trigger anything in the lie. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. And people pointed out that last time. It could have been me saying your name too, because I remember I was saying your name. Remember? And then you were like, call me Hurts. And then I was like, all right, bet. And I started calling you Hurts. So that's what happened. Yeah, I know. I don't know. She ain't here. Hurts ain't here. Hurts my people. They ain't no. I just don't want to. I don't know. Yeah, don't change it. Just change the E. Like, whatchamacallit, the best thing, just change the E to a 3. And then we good. I think that's good. I think that'll trick the the algorithm and do it. You know what I mean? Like, I think we'll be good. I think you change the E to a 3 and we good. Keep it just like that. And I'll just call you Hurts, and that way I ain't got to say the word and we'll be straight. Yeah, her super cool. I just don't know at this point. I don't know. I don't know what the heck TikTok be doing. I don't know what TikTok be doing. Yeah, or that exactly. Just the little, what's that? The Euro E. Just anything. You just got to do it. Yeah, I just want to be safe. That's it. Just want to make sure, protect everybody. Actually. Anyways, yeah, TikTok be doing some. Wow, I don't know nothing about TikTok. I don't know. But yeah, we can't speak regular English. We can't say scientific terms. Like what? I can't say a scientific term like smortion. You know what I mean? Wow, that's it. But yeah, anyways, we back to it. Hey man, bang the Cash App one time. We have 53,000 likes. Let's get that up a little bit. I think we can get over 100,000. There's 445 people in here. 94 people on the TikTok, on the YouTubes. We rocking out. It's a late night, but we getting it in. I want to change. I want to. Oh, that's a slur? Okay. Simlish. Yeah, it's crazy. $1 a do you. Y'all know what it is. Lineage of 13 families that rule the planet. The Astros, Bundys, Collins, DuPont, Freeman, Kennedy. NASA's Rockefeller, Russell, Merovingian, Rothschild. Crazy. Anyways, we bite. Oh, there she go. Dang, she changed the whole name. I didn't want you to change the whole name, but she got it though. You good? We good now.
Hey, I listen.
I'ma still call you Hurts though, just cause.
I just had to go ahead and change it because I'm like, now I'm getting triggered because I'm seeing the comments. I don't want to look at the comments, but I'm like, damn, it's obvious why I have it. If you go look at my channel, you'll see why it
Yeah.
is what it is. But I ain't finna get into that. But my whole thing is this. I'm looking at the prompt, right? And it says, why is growth never an option for men? When I read the single lonely male epidemic that's happening out here, they're not emotionally intelligent. They refuse. So many of them, they feel like all I have to do is go to work. All I have to do is just provide and protect, and I don't have to do nothing else. I can come home. Everything's supposed to be on her and all of that, right? They don't consider, that's the one thing that they do not consider. You have to be emotionally intelligent. That does not mean that you have to be a counselor to me or to women. That does not mean that you have to be open and available for a therapy session whenever I'm feeling down. That
Yeah.
just means that even if you're feeling a certain type of way, I need you to be able to identify your feelings and be able to say, hey, this is how I'm feeling, or this is maybe how I want to express myself, or this is what I want to do. But so many times, men don't understand, or don't overstand for that matter, that they can express themselves without being grumpy, without being mean, without being dismissive, without being deflectors.
Standoffish. Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, the other dude that came up here, whatever his name was, they ended up getting dropped or whatever happened to him. That man was a damn clown. I mean, circus with the red flags and the big shoes and everything. Like, sir, what are you talking about? I just really didn't get it. But they don't see growth as an option. Number one,
Appreciate
I have
you,
my
Tisha.
own, huh?
No, I was saying Tisha. Appreciate you, Tisha, for the cash app.
Oh, okay. Like, I have my own reasons as to why I think men don't want to grow or cannot grow, but I'll just keep that number one to myself. But number two,
No. Tell us
no.
why. Tell us why. Tell
Hey,
us. Don't be shy.
hey, listen, you know that I feel like I ain't gonna say all of it, because I do believe that the patriarchy and the societal norms and expectations have something to do with it. But I do think that a lot of this, or some of it, has to do with some biology. I'd say, I said before, the Y chromosome is a real issue. And so if those things are not being considered, you know what I mean, especially for Black men, they have young Black boys have highest rates of conduct disorder. Black men are leading in the highest rates of narcissism, antisocial personality disorder. So my thing is, when it comes to our race, I can only speak for me because I'm an African American female or a woman of color. I can only speak for our gender of men. They are leading in taking out our own people. And so if that's the case, my thing is, the reason why it's hard for them to grow is because of the deflection. If you think about the characteristics of narcissism, the deflection, the grandiosity, feeling like, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. It's you. It's everybody else but me. It's never a situation where you have to look within yourself. And then you have a whole community of men backing you that feel the same exact way. But why are there articles? Now let's get off Black men. Let's go to men as a whole. Why are there articles and studies in psychology that talk about how men have a single lonely epidemic? It's because of one simple thing that I said in the beginning. And taking no accountability is a characteristic, as well as not being able to accept criticism, of narcissistic traits. Now, I'm not, even though my therapist herself, that I've been seeing for 10 years, told me that I have basically, I'm able to, like, she basically speaks very highly of me as far as me learning in my own education. Narcissism is it's not a disorder. It's like psychopathy, antisocial personality disorder. So I'll just call it narcissistic traits. But no accountability, not being able to to handle criticism, grandiosity, feeling entitled. They feel entitled for us to simply smile at them. Women get unalive for simply rejecting them. That's a real serious thing. but they never want to look within themselves. So when this guy got up here and started talking all this mess about all this other bullshit that he was talking about, I'm like, sir, whoa. What about emotional stability? What about emotional intelligence? What about emotional maturity? I refuse to get into a relationship with a man when I have 2 children, and one of my children, my son is 15, he has conduct disorder, and I have a 6-year-old. I don't have time to deal with a grown ass man that has conduct disorder traits. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell do I look like wanting to be in a partnership with a man that wants to argue with me because he's not emotionally intelligent, because he does not want to go to therapy? Sir, if you all feel like as a whole you have mommy issues, take your ass to therapy. Get your medical card out. Oh, but you don't do that though, because you don't want to go to work, so you don't have insurance. Or if you do have insurance, you don't want to go to the doctor because you feel like that's being a sucker. It's every excuse in the book, and then blaming women as to why you're not able to get yourself together. That's an issue. It's everything else but them. And so my whole thing is, the key thing of what I'm trying to say is this emotional intelligence. That is the actual reason why men never really grow, because they don't see emotional intelligence as, to me, in my experience, as the bag. I can pay for my own shit. Women have rights now. Women are able to get jobs, lines of credit, get divorces or initiate divorces, rent, own homes. Women can do all the same things that men can do for the most part, right? Even though we are put in a box, but women, and we're marginalized or whatever, but women are still able to do some of the same exact things that men can do. So if I'm having all my shit together, a car, apartment or house, job or career, degree or whatever, sir, what the fuck can you do for me? Dick is great, but at the end of the day, I got toys for that. So my whole thing is, what can you do for me? Can you be emotionally intelligent? Can you meet me on this emotional path of understanding my feelings, me understanding yours, and us having a mature conversation about it? You can't. And
Hold
that's
on.
the reason
Hold on,
why.
wait.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Real quick. I gotta watch. We gotta watch the language a little bit.
Okay.
Let's be careful. Yeah, I might have to even end the live. I don't even know.
Oh,
That's
I'm sorry.
it's all right. I just been getting. Hey, I don't know. I've been getting banned so much from so many different things. So I probably have to start the live over again at
I've
this
been
point.
trying to watch what I say. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
F1, F1.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Yeah.
I do know the systematic history that broke the family. And the thing is, a lot of men chose not to be in the home for certain reasons. Y'all can't keep on blaming this on welfare took the man out the home, but y'all wanted to keep on popping women up with kids. Can we stop acting like women chose welfare over men when y'all decided that y'all didn't want to work? Let's go back to the CBS documentary. Let's stop playing these games. Number one, I wasn't there. I'm only 35 years old. I wasn't there. So can we talk about the now? None of us were there as far as I'm concerned. And if you were a kid. So none of us really know what happened back then. But can we talk about the now? Y'all want to talk about slavery, the white man, oppression, and all of this stuff. But what are you doing right now to grow as a man, as a human? Period. You want to talk about everything else?
I think that. And we had a discussion before, but I think it's dangerous. I think we're in dangerous territory when we start blaming biology for stuff like this. And it
That's why I
doesn't
said
mean
I didn't want to get into it.
no, I know, but I just want to just clarify though, because we got into it. So I do want to clarify because I think it's dangerous to say that something is biological. That also not dangerous. It's ahistorical to say something is biological that wasn't always the case. So if it were always the case, then I would be more inclined to believe that, you know what I'm saying, maybe it was biological, but it wasn't always the case.
When have men never not been men though?
When have we had like matriarchal societies?
No. When I read the book called the Greek I forgot what it's called, the Greek myths. When have men not been men? Even in the Greek myths, they were graping the goddesses. When have men not used or asserted their physical power over women to control them? When have they not used this as a form of dominance? I'm not saying that it's completely biological. What I'm saying is there is some sort of fact in there, even if it's just 2%, that this is a biological issue. Now, I don't even need to get into that back and forth with that, because I have read the studies, I have read the books, I have several books, and I know certain things about the biology of men. The Y chromosome is actually disappearing. They have studies about that today. So my thing is, if that is the case, and men are not as equipped genetically as women are, and the testosterone does play a part, then I just want to understand it's not just societal norms that are happening here. Nobody is telling these men to unalive women, and nobody's putting this in their subconscious. Yes, it's on TV, and to a degree, the subconscious plays a role, but nobody is overtly saying, go out here and grape, unalive, be pedophile. Nobody's doing that. This is something that the society is pushing to a degree, but just like society is pushing it, women are not doing that. Women are steady coming up in their education, home ownership, and all these different things. So
Yeah.
why is
I
it
mean,
that
that's
men
what
are more susceptible to these things than women? If
because
it's
it,
not
because it,
biological.
because men are socialized to be that way. But that would I think what you're saying is like this. This is how I look at this. Let's say the world looked the same in 1,000 years, relatively speaking, as far as like race was concerned. Let's say racism still existed in 1,000 years and it looked very similar to the way that it does right now, right?
Okay.
Imagine they're on TikTok or something like that, and there's a person in there saying, "I think YT people, it's biological that for them to be racist."
Baby, I'm not gay. I'm gonna stop reading the comments, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, what? Yeah. So here, I think if we left society alone in 1,000 years, they would say, like, people would say, "Oh, YT people are innately racist," right? Like they would say that about YT people, because it'd be like, so when did YT people, when weren't they racist? Like that would be the question. When were YT people racist, right? And then it would be like, like, but that's what I'm saying. So in 1,000 years, it would be like, people would be like, I don't know, a long time. You know what I'm saying? 500 years.
But there are also no studies of
it'll
YT
easily.
people having this in their DNA. There are things to back up why males act the way that they do. There are no studies of genetically and biologically and neurologically why YT people act the way that they do. Now that is social construct. That is something that they learn from society. However, there's a difference between males and females. And I feel bad for you, brother, because you fight so hard to get them to overstand, not understand, to get them to overstand the things that they do, like the internal misogynistic, ways that they are, and the narcissism. You fight hard tooth and nail. And I watch you every single time. But guess what? They still don't get it. It's because something on the inside of them, even coming from one of their own males himself, black ones, that they still don't get it.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
I don't
Priscilla
expect.
minded.
Yeah, but I know, but that's what I'm saying though. Once again, I can say that a YT person could tell YT people about racism, and they won't understand. They won't buy into it. A wealthy person or a person that's well off can talk to other wealthy people about capitalism, and people who and capitalists will be like, "Oh, what are you talking about? I don't want to give up my," like, once people have, that's the thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's too unbelievable to me to make the assertion that testosterone is making men be this way, and we're all like that. I'm sorry, that doesn't, to me.
Brother,
I don't
listen,
buy that.
listen
But
to
wait,
me.
Hurts. But wait. Also, because women have testosterone too.
Exactly, but not as
Women
high
don't
as
have
men.
testosterone. Women have
Not as high as
testosterone
men.
too.
Not as high as men. But
No,
brother,
I know,
listen.
but women. But my
Bro,
point
listen.
is,
In other countries, it's not just in the United States of America. This is men all over the globe.
I know.
Every country is not socializing men to be this way. Patriarchy and Abrahamic religions, they do play a role. Here's the thing, the powers that be, let me just be a conspiracy theorist for 2 minutes, 2 seconds, okay? The powers that be, they knew the design of the male, they knew the design of the woman, right? And so they knew that we were nurturers. And so they put nurturing things in front of us, the Dows, the bears, and all that stuff, right? And then for the boys, the G.I. Joe and the aggression and turning flips and doing all this stuff, they know who we all are. So if they know who we all are, they played on that. They know who men are. And you, brother, you just happen to be one of them that ascended from your nature, and you have emotional intelligence. I'm willing to bet you bottom dollar, and I ain't even got that much money. I'm willing to bet you that in your natal chart, you have water in your natal chart. I don't know what you are. I feel like you a Sag because I'm a Sag. But I feel like in your natal chart, there is some things about you that are either Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or 4th, 8th, or 12th house. You have to have it because your insight is way too great. I watch you. I listen to you. I'm an INFJ for those who know personality types. So all I'm saying is I'm watching everything. I've done my research. I've read the books. I've read the scientific studies of the people that study this stuff. So all I'm saying is he may be a Virgo rising. You never know. My son is. But, and you also have to consider sidereal astrology, not Western, because Western is based off the 4 seasons, and that's a whole other story. But the purpose of what I'm saying is, it's a real serious issue, and I'm not trying to get into biology, so I'll move away from that. But what I'm saying is, the reason why men are not able to grow, and they don't see it as an option, is simply because they are unwilling, and for some of them even unable, based on the societal structures and based on other things that I don't want to get back into, to be emotional, intelligent, become emotionally mature, and they're stunted. And a lot of them are suffering from it starts with the A. I believe it starts with the A. What is that called again? When you it's right on the tip of my tongue.
When you what?
When like stunted in your growth. When something happens to you and you become stunted in your growth, arrested development. Thank you, baby. That's what it's called. Who was that? That's K Shep. I love her.
Somebody
Yeah.
said affluenza.
Y'all better get y'all shot. Y'all ain't right. But that's the whole purpose of what I'm saying. Like, it is so many different factors into this. And to me, a lot of the factors also include your natal chart. It includes your makeup. You know what I'm saying? I'm a spiritual person, so I don't mean to get into all of that, but that does play a role in a lot of this stuff. And we just have to be aware of the fact that some men in this lifetime that they're living are called to be exactly what you are. And I know that you went through a lot of stuff in the past couple days or the past couple weeks. Keep on doing what you're doing. I just want to encourage you. I do feel like you my big bro from another galaxy or whatever. I'm not on the spaceship like King, whatever dude said.
I'm trying to get on the mothership. Y'all don't even know. I
But
can't wait for that
you
one.
already own it because you doing the work though. So you already own it. Listen, that's all I gotta say, brother. I'm gonna drop, okay?
I appreciate you.
All right, no problem.
All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it onto the mothership one time, man. I don't know what's gonna get me on there. I think that's why I think I'll be trying to dress fly all the time, because I think like when that mug come back, you're gonna have to be on, because I always think about like Boosie Collins and like Parliament and stuff like that, and they was dressed so vicious, and I always be thinking like the only way you gonna get on there is to be dressed viciously. Like I don't think they just gonna let you on there like any old thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna get in there with some I mean, I don't want to name the brand, but y'all know what I'm saying. Some Sheen, like with a Sheen sweater and you know what I'm saying, something like that. Some of them stacked jeans from Fashion Nova. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I'm a Capricorn, by the way. I don't know if I got no water in my. I'm thirsty right now though. I do want some water. I ain't gonna even hold you.
Go ahead.
What up, Terry?
Hey, go ahead and get you some water. You better stay hydrated.
You know, when
Nah,
you're
nah, I'm
hungry,
good. Hey, man, hold on. Hold on, man. The comments, man. Y'all gotta be easy in them comments, man. Y'all be going crazy.
that
Damn, the
dehydration had
comments.
your lips dry. I'm just saying, you don't want to be up here looking like that. We can't hear you up there.
I'm good. My lips ain't even dry. They oversaturated. That's the problem. Motherfuckers always be listening. Hey, the comments on YouTube was all actually going crazy too. That
Yeah.
was wild.
So,
Go ahead, Tara.
so this ain't the first time I heard this. What that person just said was a bunch of BS. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Hold
No,
on. Wait. I'm gonna let you get into it. A, let's try to be respectful. And B, because Hurts is cool. She ain't, you know what I'm saying?
I
I
like
know
hurts. I'm not talking about hurts. I'm talking about the message. That's why I said
okay, I got you.
I'm addressing the
And I
message.
just want to be clear. I'm trying it with the platform, y'all. If y'all ain't paying attention, I'm trying not to drop no N bombs, no F words. Y'all know what I'm saying. Use a TikTok friendly language, please, for your boy. Cause my videos be getting restricted. So just help me out. I'm trying not to get banned for one
I'm
time
a,
in my life.
I'm a,
All right.
I'm gonna use my teacher voice, okay, y'all.
There you go. Go ahead. I'm all ears now. Go ahead.
So before I say this, y'all gotta remember, gender identity, gender expression, and your biological sex are all exist on a spectrum. When you realize that it exists on a spectrum, anything we assign to a binary does not make sense. Go look it up. They all exist on a spectrum, okay? The reason why we having these core issues are because of gender roles. It's literally the gender roles. When boys are young, usually typically between the ages of 3 and 5, you're supposed to be developing the vocabulary to go along with the emotions you are feeling. However, we live in a society where those emotions are suppressed. Each emotion exists on a spectrum. The sadness I feel when my pencil breaks is different from the sadness I feel when I lose a loved one. We have to practice these emotions and build up that vocabulary. What happens is, if I tell a young child that they can't feel these emotions, they repress them. This developmental stage is essential for when they go into the adolescent stage. If you know anything about the ecological model, what that means is when you're young, your parents mean the world to you, everything about your parents. As you get older, it transforms to your peers, and then so forth and so forth. It's also depending on what time period you live in and what culture you live in. In our specific culture, not only are the emotions suppressed by the parents, by the peers in society, when they get to the adolescence, this developmental is what helps you develop your individual identity. Because you do not have your individual identity as a boy, a lot of times what happens is they start doing the masculinity performance. They are performing masculinity because they think this is how I'm supposed to act. And because I've been rejected by feeling certain emotions in the past, now I'm allowed, if I act tough, I get praises. People
Yeah.
tell me, "Oh, this is how."
Society validates that reaction. That's what happens. That's what I've seen growing up for myself personally, for sure.
Over time, you develop this false identity. All this is tied in with narcissism. If you look at all the systems, they all align with narcissism. This false identity, what happens is your true self, you feel very insecure about it. Because of that, it's very hard for you to open up and express how you feel to people. That's why you have a lot of men who shut down when it comes to emotions, but they continue to perform because they need to be accepted. That rejection hurts them to the core. While we have a lot of men who need attachment to women because that's the only person he can go to um, and feel like he can express himself. That's why when a lot of these men get with women, they immediately humble her and eat away to her self-esteem because he needs to make her feel like he has something up on her to feel confident enough to speak to her. We even see this with OnlyFans. We have men who will have these parasocial relationships with these women, and they'll be in the inbox having these conversations. They feel safe because they feel they can't be exposed, which is why some of these guys get a little irrational with these parasocial relationships. But it's all in this identity. I made 3 videos on this. If y'all ain't seen it yet, where I broke down how this works. You can go and look up the information. I don't even have to give you a source. You can look at the culture of masculinity, how it develops over time. There are plenty of information on how this works. We have to understand it. Once we say something is biological, then what can we do about it?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say it's dangerous to be like it's biological. I'm like, and also Tara, so I am under the impression that your social, what happens in society can actually change your biology. Is that not true?
I'm not going to pretend I know all the biology. I know about epigenetics, and over time that can happen.
I'm talking about epigenetics, yeah, pretty much.
So epigenetics can, but that means you're predisposed to it. For example, I come from a long line of family members who have experienced a lot of trauma. I've struggled with my mental health because of this. However, my son, who since a young child, I've been working on myself and reparenting myself. Because of that, I've been able to help him with his expression of his emotions and building up the language I was just talking about. My son, who is male, has better emotional regulation than I do. We can't just say, well, women by default are all good, because how many of us have mothers who are narcissists? That is the reality. That happens in society. That is a personality disorder people can develop under a system that mirrors narcissism. So I just feel like not only is it dangerous, it puts us in a position where we start thinking we understand things, and then it's be all these explanations. What happens is when you have a problem, you need to identify what the core issue is. There's literally a core issue, and then all the other problems kind of manifest, and it look like it's all over the place. But if we address the core issue, then some of these problems that we see will be different. That's why you have men who want to pretend they're something, but they cannot be them true selves because they are afraid of the rejection they will get from society, because there's a child wound from that rejection they felt when they was younger, if that makes sense.
Facts. C. Dave asked the question. That's why I brought him up here. C. Dave said, why do men shut down? Kevin also is saying some he said, C. Dave wasn't saying anything weird. C. Dave just asked an interesting question, so I figured I'd bring him up. C. Dave, you want to elaborate on that question? Come up, Kevin. Kevin asks, women unfortunately, he said women unfortunately put down a man that shows emotion. That's what he's saying. That's why he's saying men shut down.
Right. So my only caveat is that you said the question that men don't express their feelings, and I'm asking, why is it that you believe, or why do men don't express their feelings, especially when it comes to the intimate partner relationship?
I can't hear you, Kevin. Kevin, you gotta mute up, brother. Your mic is mute your mic for me, fam.
Yeah. Hold on,
you got a lot of background.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. Go ahead, C. Dave.
So she made a statement saying that men don't express their feelings, and my question is, when you talk to men in relationships and interpersonal relationships with with their significant other, what is the number one reason why men say they don't express their feelings?
Me personally, when I talk to men, they say that the reason why they don't express their feelings is for fear of the woman judging them.
Right. So fear of women judging them, being transparent, men open up their feelings, and it oftentimes get used or gets weaponized against them. This is
I think that's more. But see, Dave, hold on, wait. I think that's more of a fear that men have. I don't think most men actually have experienced that. Because I talk to a lot of men who say that, but then when I ask them, has it ever happened to them? It typically has never happened to them. So they have a fear of women weaponizing their quote unquote vulnerabilities against them. But to me, I don't buy that. And I'll tell you why I don't buy the vulnerability thing, because you don't have to, if you have healed up from the trauma, you don't have to, nobody, like Kay says, you can't spray somebody with their own tea. So if you have healed up from it, then how can you use it against me, quote unquote? If I tell you something and then I'm good, and then you throw it in my face, I don't have to be triggered by that. Right? So I'm going to tell you what I think men are afraid of. They are afraid of women actually seeing us for who we really are, because we view that as weak. because other men tell men that you're weak when you do that. That's what other men tell men, not women. Women don't tell us that. Men tell men that. Then you get in a relationship with a woman and you perpetuate that ideology. You perpetuate the ideology within your relationship. You think, well, I shouldn't tell her anything, and that's how I'm going to maintain my power in this relationship, because if I tell her something about me, she'll know who I really am. She'll really understand me for who I am, right? And I don't want, or she may see how messed up of a person I am, or she may see how much help I need, or whatever the case may be. And men don't want to be perceived as weak in a relationship to maintain a certain power dynamic. And that is what men fear.
Okay.
But ask men, have they ever experienced that? And hook them up to a lie detector, 90% of men will be like, nah, I never experienced it.
You can't say that.
That happened.
Okay, you can't say that. You pulling that out your ass, bro. So again, when I'm saying what I'm saying is this, is that you assuming that most men are healed from their trauma, which they are not.
I'm not assuming.
That's what you said. You said that.
I didn't say that.
Well, okay. So what you said was that if a man is healed, then the words that are being used against him cannot be weaponized. What I am saying is that most men are not healed.
I know that.
Right. So most men are experiencing trauma. Most men have dealt with trauma from childhood, from their fathers, from their mothers, from everyone that is in there. So when a man is saying like, hey, look, when I open up to you, right, and I'm being vulnerable to you, that is not an excuse, or that is not a reason for you to use that back against me. And what most men are saying is that I have personally experienced women use things against me that hurts me, that the words cut deep, and that going forward in future relationships, I no longer feel safe to be vulnerable.
Can I ask you a question? Do men not do that to women?
Absolutely. This is not a one-way street.
Okay. So wait. Hold on. Let's go one step at a time. You always like to go on and on after I ask you a question. So yes, right? So men do that to women. Okay. I think men do that way more to women than women do that to men. But okay. So
I disagree.
So I'm sure you do. But women get that done to them all the time. Let me ask you another question. If a man and a woman were in a relationship and either one of them were to cry, let's say the man were to, who would be more likely to laugh at the other person for crying, the man or the woman?
Well, say that again. Wait. So if a man
is in a relationship with the person, right? And you're a man and the woman cries, right? Flip it around. The woman, you're in a relationship with a man and a woman, and the woman cries. Who's more likely to laugh at the other person, the man or the woman?
The woman's gonna laugh at the man.
I mean, I don't know. If I had to bet, I would probably say the man would probably laugh.
The man would laugh at the woman. There's tons of that going.
But okay, so public. Let me ask you this.
So wait. Hold on. Wait, y'all. Wait. So the reason why I asked that is because how is it that in these relationships women are vulnerable and men throw the woman's vulnerability in the woman's face, right? Laugh at them, disregard their feelings when the woman is pouring their heart out and telling them that how hurtful the men are to them or whatever the case may be, and the men will laugh at them and the men will totally disregard them, right? And then the women will eventually either they'll heal up in the relationship and they'll get over it, or they'll just move on to and be single or move on to another man or whatever the case may be. But the women heal up from that, and you never hear women say, that's why I don't open up to men no more.
Women
because
don't heal.
Last man that I opened up to,
don't heal up, brother.
He laughed at me.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
But see, but for some reason, you hear men say, the reason why I don't open up to women is because I fear that she's going to use whatever against me. But when you ask those men, has that ever happened to them? At best, the vast majority of them will say, yeah, in high school. Yeah, when I was 8. And you be talking to a 35-year-old man, and he'll be talking about, this girl left me for a candy dealer when I was in the 12th grade or whatever the case. I'm like, what? Can you talk about something when you're 30, when you're 27 at least? It don't be happening to men like that almost ever. But they act, but we really be out here acting like it's happening to men all the time. And you trying to do it right now, and Kevin's trying to do it. And it probably ain't ever happened to either one of y'all.
No, not really.
Okay,
Not
Pope,
really.
let me ask you a question,
My
Pope.
previous relationship,
Can I ask a
she
question?
was
ask you a
very
question.
strong.
Hold on, one at a time. Go ahead, Kevin, and then go to
Okay, previous relationship, she was very strong. If I showed any type of emotion at all, she was brutal on me. My wife now is a doctor, so the education level was entirely different between the two. She is supportive of me, but I also reciprocate and show the support towards her as well. So that it's a different. So it allowed me to be more supportive of her. At least I feel that way.
How long
That
ago?
I support
How long
her.
ago were you married to your first wife?
10 years ago.
10 years ago, damn.
Yeah, I'm 63. So,
Goodness.
and see, I'm dating. My wife now is 31. She's a doctor. So there's a big difference in age, but it's not. I wasn't looking for age.
Kevin, why are you dating a 31-year-old at 60? What are you doing? I'm sorry.
Me? I'm married to her.
Yeah, why are you married to a what are you doing?
Somebody that can take over my companies. She carries a bachelor's degree and a master's degree.
And a doctorate?
Yes. In November she'll have a doctorate. So, somebody that takes care of. So somebody that takes care of all my companies. General. Just a general physician. Just a general physician.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I have 2 orphanages in Uganda, and I have some companies over there, and then, I have companies there and then here in the United States. So my theory is to have somebody not only with intelligence, but, a child that will, and we all know society of how late you will live in life, but I have a 15-year-old that will take over, hopefully, educate and take over what I have.
All right, I hear you. I want to get back on topic, though. I think we kind of meandered off. But okay,
but
so...
but what I'm saying before was I dated a woman way back, and she was a lot different. She was, not to put down a woman, she was not of the education level. Okay, and the difference of knowledge of showing towards a male is entirely different between her and my now wife. I mean, it just should, you know what I'm saying? There was being an emotional aspect, is what I'm saying, what we were talking about.
Okay, so C-Dave, go ahead. I know you wanted to respond. Go ahead, C-Dave.
Yeah, so I wanted to respond. So you asked me a question: who is more likely to laugh? And I said that if I had to put my money on it, I would say the men. But if I ask you this question, who is most likely to tell someone to muscle up or man up when they're expressing their feelings in a relationship? Is it the man or the woman?
A man.
That's
man. That's man language. Man up came from a man, sir.
No. So what we typically see a lot of times in relationships,
man started that.
No, the men didn't start that.
Men did start man up. What are you talking, sir? Please.
No. Oh my God!
Y'all just be saying
Can I get a thought out?
Lee, man.
So again, when we see relationships between men and women, you would typically see where if a man is struggling with his emotional or he's struggling whatever, they would say, "Hey, man up. Go ahead, take care of your business as a man. Be a man." Right? So what happens a lot of times is that a man is often their feelings are not validated, right? They often have to suppress their feelings in order to go ahead and quote unquote man up and do the things that they're supposed to do in a relationship. That's what I'm saying. Both men and women in relationships have problems, right? There is no relationship that is solely soiled because of one person. Every relationship that is soiled, every relationship
all the time, C-Dave. That's not true. You got to stop saying stuff that's unequivocal.
How is that not true?
100%. There are people who they're abusers who abuse. There are people who cheat, and the other person didn't do anything. 100%.
Do you think that cheating just starts because
cheating just starts with you cheating? There's not. Hey, Nasir, where'd you go, bro? Hey, y'all, mute Nasir for the rest of the live since he want to run away.
Can I say
Yeah.
something real quick?
Go ahead, C.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead and.
So first, I want to clarify: men do have certain emotions that they are able to do, like anger, like that's acceptable. But anger is not a primary emotion; it's a secondary emotion. If you're repressing your emotions, they come out as anger. But the second part I want to say is, if you're in a relationship with someone and you're going to them for emotional support, and they are not a trained therapist, and you're just piling information, yeah, you might get a response like "man up," because that person's not qualified to deal with your situation. That's the problem. Like you need to go see a therapist, you need to go see like a professional who knows what they're doing, how to talk to you and deal with your issues. But if you are just unleashing on some random person that you're just in a relationship with, you cannot expect them to give you the proper emotional support that you need. And that's where you get a lot of these problems. Like, oh, she didn't respond the right way. She's not a therapist. She can't do that. So you're doing too much. You're putting too much on a person who just does not have that type of training.
Also, if you went to so the if you women don't say man up. I don't think that's a common phrase that women say to men. I don't think that's a common phrase that women say to men. That is a common phrase that men say to other men. If you went to your friends, out of your friends and your women, who is more likely to say man up? It's gonna be your homies. It's gonna be your homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Your woman ain't gonna say man up, like, because women don't typically say that. They didn't invent that saying, right? They may say it sometimes. I'm not saying that they don't ever say it to anybody anytime. I'm just saying, generally speaking, that's not common. Like women aren't commonly running around telling their man up. Like, come on, man. Y'all. Go ahead, C. Dave.
Right. So, in order to have these discussions, brother, you have to understand that everybody or everything doesn't operate in the way that you see things or what you have experienced. Okay. So, there are plenty of women who say, man up, be a man, do what you're supposed to do as a man. This happens often. Like, you think all these men got together collectively and said and came up with these ideas that they come up with. No, this is because they have lived experiences about these things, right? Oftentimes, when men are trying to be vulnerable, we are not often allowed the space to be vulnerable. This is what men have been saying time and time again. And the fact that you refuse to believe it is part of the problem.
I do believe it.
Okay.
I do believe that men aren't allowed to be vulnerable. I already said that, but it's by other men. I believe it. I know it to be true. I'm a man. I know it to be true. Trust me. I got you. I know men are told and are scolded and are chastised for being vulnerable by other men, by little boys. It's not by women. It's by men. Other men do that to men. If you cried in front of your homeboys, you might get beat up. Like, forget getting laughed at. They might laugh at you, but in certain circles, you might get beat up for crying. You were presumed to be weak if you cried. They would pick on you. They would jump you. They would do stuff moving forward to make you cry and then laugh. Like, that is what boys do, and men do stuff like that. Men do that, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. So when you try to act like this is common between men and a common dynamic between men and women, I don't believe you. It ain't just my personal.
I understand that you don't believe
what
me.
I've experienced. It's just not. It's not real.
Okay,
Like,
so
where does
for
that
public,
happen?
your experience is not the vast majority of men. That's what you fail to realize. Your experience is not the vast majority of men. So just because you haven't seen it and you haven't experienced doesn't mean that the majority of men don't experience that, right? I will agree with you that yes, men do get clowned by their other men, by their friends, or if they have toxic friends. Yes, that does happen. But also men get clowned by women in their own relationships for being able to cry. Most men don't even feel comfortable. If you ask the majority of men, they don't even feel comfortable crying in front of their woman. And why is that?
Oh, majority of men? Yeah. Oh, once again, you got to stop asking. I'm going to tell you the answer every single time. The reason why the majority of men don't feel comfortable if crying in front of women is because of other men, not because of the women. The women be asking the men to be more vulnerable. The women be begging the men to be more open. and be more sensitive in front of them. That's what women be screaming for us to do. So why don't men do it? Because when we were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, when we would do that, our boys would chastise it. Dude, you couldn't tell your girl you loved her in front of your homies. Right? That's just me. Your homies wouldn't clown you for telling your girlfriend. I don't care if you was with your girl for 10 years. I don't care if you was with your girl for 5 years, from 15 to 20. If you there was a window of time from boyhood to manhood, right? The transition, it bled over, where you couldn't say, where you couldn't express any level of emotion or sensitivity towards your woman in front of your homeboys without your homeboy saying something.
I haven't experienced that.
Okay.
So even from the time when I was a teenager up until now, when I'm 40 years old, I have never experienced any of my friends clown me for saying I love the girl, or I like the girl, or I was feeling a girl. Right? That never happened to me. Now, I'm not saying that didn't happen to you. It probably did. But what I am saying is that most men, we understand that, look, we like women. And it's okay for men to fall in love with women. It's okay for men to like women. So there was no clowning, because even if you clowning me or talking about, hey, I like this woman, motherfucker, you like this girl too.
Hey, be careful with that F word.
My bad. So,
You good.
so even when saying, like, if you gonna, how can you clown me for liking a woman when you and yourself as another man like this other girl? It just doesn't happen at the rate that you're trying to make it seem that it happens.
Can I just ask a clarifying question? So you're saying that since the women are the ones who are bullying men, and saying they're not crying, or they can't cry, or what they or whatever. So you're saying that when men get together and hang out together, y'all having crying sessions with each other?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying
Because
is
if
that,
there's no woman there, why aren't y'all crying with each other?
so typically speaking, men are not going to sit up here and cry in front of other men, right?
Exactly.
We know that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen at the rate that women happens, right? So, but what I am saying is that men do express their feelings with other men who they consider to good friends, right? But when it comes to a relationship between a man or a woman, a lot of men don't feel comfortable in being vulnerable with women. And the reason that
But
they
you didn't
don't
answer my
feel vulnerable.
question. You kind of skated over my question. I asked you why
Okay,
not.
maybe re-ask your question so I can answer it.
So
I'm sorry.
I'm asking you about these, because the women are the bullies, but you gotta cry.
I didn't say women are the bullies. I didn't say that.
Okay, I'm paraphrasing. Okay.
Hey, hold on, y'all. Hold on, real quick. So here's what I'll be saying. Y'all always like to act like if this is just my experience, right? Then why can I always find an example in pop culture? And y'all don't understand when I be telling y'all this stuff, I'm saying it for a reason. There's a reason why they put stuff in movies, in article, in memes and stuff. Like I already pointed this out. It is because it is commonplace. Because they know they want to make it realistic. They want to make it authentic, right? Are we going to deny that's why they do stuff in movies and stuff like that, and in what's it called, in advertisement and things like that? They want to relate to people, do they not? Right? That's what that's what a lot of it is rooted in. Let's relate to our let TikTok on YouTube, because they be flagging me for playing stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, see, Dave, knock it off, bro. Like on some real stuff, dude. You're not about to sit here and act like I'm not, like, oh, only that's just you, sir. That is common. It is so common. It is in every freaking movie. It is like in every like boy crazy, girl crazy movie where that scene plays out. If that happens, they're going to do that. They're lying. They just put that. That just is fake.
Okay,
That's just,
so
that's how boys act.
So
You
we're
can't say you love. You can look in that scene. See, Dave, when the girls said nope, you got to say it. None of the girls was like clowning her for saying that. They was all like looking at her, endearing, like, oh, right. And the boy, and he looking around, and he got, you know, I look. That's how it happens.
So public, to prove your point, you using, so if
Yes,
I
he's
so
a
if I
movie
go so if
that
I go
is
and find a
very
movie,
popular, and I just made the point that because how do you want me to prove this to you, right?
So-
you keep going to this is what you see, public. No, it is not what I see. That's my point. So, if I'm the only if I'm the only person to see this, right? If it's only me, or if it's not common, then why is it a known trope in all of pop culture? You see what I'm saying?
public, so you using movies, so would you agree that music is also a part of this, right?
Yes.
Not movie, music, right?
Yeah.
So how many songs have you heard of men pouring out their heart, talking about how much they love women? And how many of those songs are loved and adored by both men and women? I mean, we could think of Lenny Williams' song, right? When he's talking about how he loves women. Did nobody clown him? Did nobody go on things and say that, oh, Lenny Williams is a simp? You know, Boys to Men have a whole CD talking about how much they love women. Marvin Gaye, how much they love women. No one was clowning those people or those artists for how much they were pouring out their heart of how they loved women. Am I correct?
Hold on, don't they say they make those songs for women though?
No, he made a point. He said that the aspect of men is reflected in entertainment. I brought up music, and how many music songs have you heard of men pouring out their hearts, talking about how much they love women and how much they've done for, how much women mean to them, how important
and
women
then guess
are.
what happened? Those songs were sampled by rappers who was calling women B words and H words.
No.
So what are you talking about, bro?
I want you to reflect.
Please stop it. Don't do that. Was a terrible. How is that terrible? Was a terrible example.
How is that terrible? This is what we're talking about, public. You are being disingenuous right now. So do you mean to tell me that there are no love songs that are made by men showing and pouring out their heart to women?
You know a bunch of love rap songs?
No. I'm asking public real quick. Public, can you answer my question? How many love songs of men pouring out their heart to women, and were they clowned for?
I want you to know something, C. Dave. They
You
really
can't answer my question.
Just FYI, they really weren't pouring out their hearts a lot of times. Just so we're clear, I know they was crooning, and it sounded like they was. They weren't really pouring out their hearts. Like when Jodeci was talking about fiending, that wasn't them pouring out their hearts.
I'm not talking about Jodeci.
No, I'm just for an example.
Let's talk about Lenny Williams and his song.
I'm not picking at you. I'm just saying in general.
Let's talk about Boys to Men. Let's talk about Marvin Gaye.
How the song made you feel.
Let's talk about Smokey Robinson.
Hey, why are you talking while I'm talking? I'm talking
because you're completely invalidating my point. You made a point, and I came back and I made a point too. And now you're trying to pivot onto some Jodeci.
I'm telling you that your point is irrelevant to mine. That's why I'm telling you that bringing up music and saying because men in real life didn't react the same way to that music. Sir, I'm telling you, without a doubt. You want to fast forward to now? How many men are listening to men like singing their hearts out to women? Like they're not. They would rather hear. I'm talking about young men especially. They would rather hear. Even my generation, they would rather hear rappers call women B words and H words. That's more relatable than a man saying that he expressing himself in a healthy way to a woman, right? Even back then, I'm saying as soon as the music changed, as soon as it was over, because that type of music existed, right? And I want not to be in the H word stuff, but the degrading of women, that music already existed, right? I be stroking and stuff like that. That type of stuff existed, right? I'm just saying that when it became more commonplace and it became more widely accepted by society, quickly men adapted they gravitated to that form of music. They would rather hear men degrade women than hear men build women up or men profess their love for women. That men feel more comfortable listening to Future than they do listening to Lenny Wilkins or Lenny Williams or wherever the heck you just said, right? They feel more comfortable listening to Gunna and listening to Wayne and stuff like that talk about fantasies of making love to a lady cop. They would rather hear that type of stuff. Like they don't want to hear men or they don't want to hear about love. Like they don't want to hear about that stuff. That men feel uncomfortable talking about that stuff. First of all, second of all, it is a song, and we know that music is different, has a different effect. But like Tara said, that music was really made for women. That music was really made for women. It wasn't made for men. The largest consumers of that music was women. It wasn't men. So what are you talking about? Men didn't feel comfortable with that music. That's not what men feel the most comfortable with, even historically. So what are we talking about, bro? Men don't like to express their feelings because other men shut them down. That's what happens. That's the reality. I don't know where you're trying to go with this. I don't know why you're fighting so hard to like not acknowledge that point. That's the point. Men shut other men down when they express their feelings. Period, point blank. Some women do, see, Dave. I already acknowledged that. I didn't say no woman does that. Of course there's some women who do that. I know of one. I don't know them personally, but I've heard stories, I'm saying, right, of a man, and I totally believe it, because if you know the type of man he is, then you could believe that he would be married to this type of woman. I know of a man whose woman would, say exactly what you said, see, Dave. I'm 100%. You got to man up. You got to stop being such a P word. That's what she's saying to him. No doubt about it. I 100% believe that woman is saying that to that man. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Can I also add that a lot of those
I've almost never heard of that though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I had to hear about that story from somebody, like through somebody else. But like I've never seen it before with my own. I've never seen it from my friends, I've never seen it before. That's what I'm saying.
Right, and I understand what you're saying.
real quick. Why those love songs were marketed to women, men were listening to music that glorified pimp culture. Like, let's not forget that either. Like, there's no love in that.
I'm your mom.
Right. So we have to understand that we understand that there are a lot of different type of genres of music, or the type of music that both men and women listen to. But to sit up here and say that men were not listening to or consuming and actually valuing these love songs by other men and artists is just asinine. Right? And that's number one. Number two, so it's public. You may only seen one. I've seen plenty of women devalue, emasculate. I'm sorry, say again?
You're a cop, right?
Yeah, I'm a cop. But
the reason why I asked you that, CDM, was because, oddly enough, the guy that I'm talking about is also a cop. Or I'm sorry, he was a cop. He was a cop. He's something else now, but he was a cop, and he married his wife when he was a cop. So I think that might be something commonplace amongst police officers, and I don't want to get into the why, but I could see that. That's what I'm saying. Like, knowing that dude is a former cop, and his wife and all of that, like, that's why I was like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see, like,
it's also my experience.
Wife being on that type
it's also my experience and what I deal with in my job. I see this 4 or 5 times a day, every day. So as you could probably imagine, domestic violence and things of that nature is rampant within my field. So I see it every day, 4 or 5 times a day. So I have.
You see the worst of people. That's what I'm saying. I can see that.
Right. And do
you think that those people are common, or do you think that those people are outliers? Because most people don't get the cops called on them. So by default, they would be outliers, right?
No, I think this is the common. You asked me a question. I believe it's the common.
I'm sorry, sir. Common people are not getting cops called on them. That's not a common thing.
Right. I understand that part. But you're asking me the dynamics between a relationship between a man or a woman, right? What I am saying is common is the fact that both men and women are equally disrespectful, equally violent within relationships. The vast majority of these relationships, when it comes to any of these things, both men and women do.
Dave, over 40, I think around like 35-40% of police reported that they are abusers, smoozers. I don't know how to say it. That they are violent towards their significant others, for around 40%. So
No,
I don't
40.
know what
So
you're talking about. That is not. It doesn't go both ways, brother. Stop that.
What do you? I mean, there's data to back this up. Like,
There
what
is
are you
no data to
saying?
back that up. There's no data to back up that women are just as.
So when you're talking about, we're pivoting now, but let's go there. When we're talking about the aggressors as far as being physically abused and domestic, in the relationships, men and women are 50% the aggressors. Women are just as much the aggressors as men. Now, let me make a caveat. Women don't don't impose as much physical damage. So what I am saying is that men are typically more physically damaged, which meaning they cause more injury in their domestic violence relationships. But both, when you're talking about the aggressors of both men and women, it's identical. Women slap. Like you talking about movies, when we watched the movies back 20, 30 years ago, it was common to see a woman slap a man and the man didn't do anything. Would you agree that that's domestic violence?
Yeah, if a woman, if a person slaps you, that's domestic violence.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, would you agree that it was common on TV to see women slap men and nothing come of it?
It still is.
It
I just
still
saw it in a movie
is. So
recently.
again, so that's domestic violence. It happens at a 50% clip. Now, again, if a woman slaps me as a man, it's probably going to sting. But if I turn around and I don't want to get your band live, but if I turn around and use my four fingers and ball it up and strike her, I'm probably going to cause more damage, right?
Okay.
So again, both parties are equally violent, but typically men commit or impose more damage, if that makes sense.
That's not true. So you're contradicting yourself. If both parties are equally violent, but men perpetuate more violence, then men are more violent.
More damage. I didn't say violence. I said more damage.
It's the same thing.
So
it's
okay.
more
So
if I slap you,
right,
and you do that to me,
right,
I am more violent than you are. That's more violence.
Okay, fine.
Right?
If you want to close it that, but would you then agree that would you agree that both parties are the aggressor? Or who would be the aggressor? So if a woman slaps me and then I do that to her, who's the aggressor in that situation?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It absolutely matters.
It doesn't. See, Dave. I personally, if you have I'm sorry, I don't want to say me personally. There are people, children hit you too, right? I don't know if you guys have ever been hit by your children. I've been hit by my kid before. You don't have to react. So who cares if my child is the aggressor? He's a child. Right. I'm way stronger than my child. My wife, if she slaps me, I'm way stronger than my wife. I don't have to react to that.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
But again, you're not answering my question. Who's the aggressor?
It doesn't matter, sir. I'm really trying to help you understand what I'm saying.
It doesn't
come down to who's the aggressor. It comes down to who commits the most violence. That's the only thing that matters to me. I don't care if she did it first or whatever the case may be. Who cares? Who cares?
What do you mean? Who cares? So here's your stance is that if a woman slaps me, I'm supposed to take it, right? She's not violent because, right? And that I am supposed to just suck that up and eat it because I am a man. Is that what you're saying?
I'm glad, and that's very telling that you don't think this is supposed to happen. But yes, I 100% agree with that. Without a doubt.
What I think is supposed to happen is that everybody keeps their hands to themselves. There should be no one hitting anyone.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with everybody. Nobody being violent. I 100% agree with that. But again, you didn't say that. You said that if she does that, what should you do?
I didn't say what you should do. What I said was that what we most often see is that women are violent, right? And they are violent in the way of by slapping, pushing, spitting, throwing hot grits on whatever, and then a man reacts. And by his reaction, he tends to cause more damage. Both parties in this situation are violent. That's what I'm saying. But what you're saying is that no, me as a man, I am supposed to accept that violence and not react. And to me, that is contradicted, right?
That's not contradicted. That is bro. You just because you can react to something doesn't mean you need to.
I agree.
So you can protect yourself. You can protect yourself and get away from the situation the same way you could if your child was doing something to you and you would go, "This is a child. I'm going to get out of this situation." The same way you would do if a person that had some disabilities, if they did something to you, just because they spat on you or something like that, doesn't mean that you have to react with violence.
I agree.
It doesn't mean that.
I'm not disagreeing with you, brother. But what
You
I
sound
am,
like
but,
you
but,
are
but,
disagreeing
but what
with
I am saying is that, but what you are doing is you are completely alleviating the fact that women are violent. Like they are violent. And what you are saying is that even though women are
overall are not violent, first and foremost.
What I'm saying is that even I didn't hear you.
That's you can stop that right now.
What you
Women
saying?
overall aren't violent. Women aren't violent. Like in general, women aren't violent. But are there some violent women? Absolutely, there's some violent women. No doubt
So,
about it.
public, would you be surprised if I were to pull you a peer-reviewed article that said that women in the man and woman relationship, that women commit 50% of violent acts towards men and men commit about 50% of violent acts towards women? Would you be surprised if I showed you that?
I wouldn't be surprised, nor would I care.
Well,
I don't know if you you haven't been listening to me. I wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't care.
why wouldn't you care? That's the problem and this is the problem that a lot of people have with your statement, is that you literally are saying that even if I were to prove or to show you that women are just as violent as men, you wouldn't care. That's completely invalidating what.
But no. But that's that's not what I said.
I just asked you that question.
No, that's not what you just said. You, sir. Once again, men are more violent than women. Period. So even in what you're talking about, which this is what I've been saying this whole time, if a woman slaps me and even if I slap her, my strike is going to resemble like Ray Rice to his girl, and her slap is going to look like a freaking movie slap to me. You see what I'm saying?
Right, so I'm not disagreeing with
more
that.
Violence in that situation. I'm the one that's more violent in that situation.
So
you see what I'm saying?
So for women,
most men, the vast majority of men are more violent than women in that way. That is literally more violent. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So women and men are not equally as violent. They're not. Men also more likely to escalate the situation and unalive the woman. Femicide, like that's what I'm saying. What are you talking about? We're not equal, bro, on any level. So you trying to act like a woman, slapping a man, and because she slapped a man or punched a man, that now equal rights and lefts. That's your version of equality, right? Like, what are you talking about? No, that's not. That's why I talk about equity. That's not equity, bro. That's not equitable. A woman is not. You and me, men, whatever. The average man is so much stronger than the average woman. Like, it is just not even close. Let's be for real. The average woman can't do 10 push-ups, right? The average woman don't bench press nothing. Nothing. They don't move no weight, bro. They don't fight. They don't even know how to fight. The vast majority of them, they never even been in a fight. Most women don't get into fights or none of that stuff. They're not violent people. That's why I think it's funny when you try to be like, men and women are just as violent as men. They're not. They don't have a history of violence. They don't grow up like that. We do. How many fights have you and I been in as men? Tons of fights. We fought all the time. We fought for fun. We used to put on boxing, but we fought for fun. We fought all the time. My wife has never been in a fight. My wife hits me and I hit her back. It ain't gonna be equal, brother.
Okay. I'm not saying to be equal. You're missing my point. I'm
missing your point.
Yes,
Go ahead.
You're completely missing my point.
Go ahead.
What I am saying is that, yes, I 100% agree with you that men will cause more damage. That's what I initially said, that
So
men...
they're more violent. So they're more violent.
Okay, whatever, however you want to phrase it, men cause more physical harm with their physical strikes onto women as opposed to women onto men. I agree with that. However, again, just because I cause more physical damage doesn't mean that the woman is not violent, right? Let me finish. You don't get to slap, hit, spit, and do all of these things and then expect the person that you're slapping, hitting, and spitting to show a whole bunch of self-control and not strike you back. That's what I'm saying. And what we often see in domestic violence situations is that you see both parties are argumentative. Both parties can't control their emotions.
And why that woman slapped that man?
Both parties cannot control their hands.
Why that woman slapped that man?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She shouldn't put her hands on him at all.
I'm a little intrigued. Why did that woman slap that man?
I couldn't tell you what every case or what.
Give me an example of a case.
The example of a case. A man comes home too late, right?
And so it's presumed that he was cheating. What is cheating?
It's presumed that he was cheating, right?
Yeah, I know. So let's assume a man is cheating. She finds out he's cheating.
Right.
What is cheating? Hold on, wait. What is cheating, C. Dave?
That's when you step out. That's when you step out on your. That's when you step out on your relationship.
Hold on. What is cheating a form of?
That's a form of emotional abuse.
Okay, and physical potentially.
Oh, sorry. Say what now?
And physical potentially.
How is it physical abuse?
STDs, bacteria.
Okay. Okay. I can roll with that.
Yeah. So cheating is a form of emotional and physical abuse, right? Potentially. So if she slaps him for cheating, I'm not saying just like I'm not justifying him cheating, I'm not justifying her slapping him.
Right.
But it would be understandable.
It wouldn't. And that's why I disagree with it. Like I don't think you don't get to
Oh my God.
You don't get to hit somebody just because
God.
you're cheating. You think it's understandable for a person to strike and hit another person simply because they're cheating.
Because they were abused? Yeah.
You leave. Okay, cool. Let's roll with that, right? Let's roll with that then.
A woman, I'm not saying a man, but I'm saying like,
if a man,
I understand a woman slapping a man who cheated on her. I get that.
Right. Okay, cool. So do you think if a woman uses sex as a control tool or she withholds it within a relationship and then that man goes out and cheat, is he justified or do you understand that?
What?
Well, now you can't hear. If a woman withholds sex or uses sex as a reward system for men, and then he then goes out and then starts cheating, do you understand that?
No, he should leave her.
So I 100% agree with you. So again, if a man goes out and cheats, then she should not hit him. She should leave him.
I just said, I understand why a woman, because let me back it up. Cheating is worse than using sex as a tool. That's what I'm saying. So, because once again, there's many reasons why the betrayal is high. There's betrayal there, and you expose the other person to potentially life-threatening diseases. Not the same thing. So you trying to make this comparison is falling flat to me. So yeah, I think that in that case, it has to match. It has to make sense, right? That's leave.
So she's
not giving you the vagina, bounce.
Right, I agree 100%. But you don't think that's a form of emotional abuse?
No.
Well, many psychiatrists disagree with you.
Okay.
Right. So many psychiatrists will say that, yes, that using sex as a reward or punishment system is a form of emotional abuse. Right.
My wife and most women are emotionally abusing their men then, because whether they do it intentionally or not, if your wife doesn't owe you vagina, brother. She doesn't owe you that.
She
right?
doesn't.
So
But I didn't say that she owes it to me.
if your wife doesn't owe you vagina,
Mm-hmm.
then it is perfectly within her with it's perfectly justified for her to deny you schmecks simply because she doesn't feel like you've done enough for her, simply because she don't feel like you were nice enough for her. So you could call it and that's what I'm saying. Men like to act like that's like, oh, she's controlling me with sex and that. She's trying to get you to act right. Right.
So
You
again,
get smacks all the time, but y'all don't be acting right.
right.
So you
So
don't get
again,
smacks.
I'm not saying that you.
Like, what's
I'm
all
not
this? That's not
listen,
emotional.
that is emotional abuse.
You neglecting her is emotional. So
every
if you
educated
neglect your wife or your girl and then she doesn't want to have sex with you,
Every-
abuse, she abuse, whatever. You manipulated, she manipulated. Like,
every
it's one-to-one.
educated person within this field who's a lot smarter than you and I when it comes to relationships have agreed that form and the way that I put it is emotional abuse. When you use it as a reward or punishment system. Now, of course, if my wife says I don't want to have sex right
is
now,
a reward or a punishment.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish.
It is.
Can I finish?
It already, sir. It already is. That's
Why
what I'm trying to tell you.
Why can't I finish a thought?
See, Dave, you don't be having no point, but go ahead. That's why you get cut off. But go ahead, man. Finish the piece.
So again, many psychiatrists, right, have already conceived and came up to the point that if SMEX is used as a reward or punishment system, that is a control, that is a manipulative tactic, right? That is emotional abuse. We're not talking about if my wife is tired and I want something. Yes, I get it. We're not talking about if my wife is not feeling me because she's upset or whatever the case. But when she uses it, or when women use it as a reward, hey, if you do this for me, I will give you this, right? Oh, you didn't do this, so you're not getting this. That is a manipulative tactic.
Tell me how that's any different than what it's like normally. I'm very curious.
What you mean? What is like normally?
How is it any different than a woman saying, I'm denying you because you're not doing, she don't have to say it, I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
She just does it. So you're saying, but if she says it, then that's the manipulation. But what if she just does it? What if she just, what if she asks you to do something, you didn't do it, and then she denies you sex? And then she doesn't say, oh, well, I'm denying you sex because blah, 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 blah. She just she just denies you sex. Is that any, like, what's the difference?
Well, the difference is, one, if I don't know, so if she's denying me sex, what most men or what the mature men would say is that, hey, babe, what's going on? What's wrong? Right? What's going on? And then we will have a conversation. It's like we will communicate what the deal is, right? And then she lays out, hey, look, I'm not really feeling into you because I'm upset. We would then talk about what it is that I did or that whatever it was that was going on that made her fall not or didn't feel like she wanted to have schmex.
Okay.
Right?
And then moving forward, you still don't do the things she wants you to do, and she still denies you smacks. What is the problem with that? How is that manipulative? How is that abusive?
Right.
I'm not understanding.
The manipulative part is when, for example, if a wife wants you to do something or get something out of you, she then uses smacks, right? Or when she wants to punish you because instead of communicating with you, she withholds it, right? That's the manipulative part. She's using that to get you to move in a way that she wants you to move, without the proper communication that comes behind it. That's the manipulative part about it. Does that make sense? That still doesn't make sense to you?
I'm not following. I just don't agree. I understand what you're saying. I just don't agree that is abuse. But hey, I could be wrong about it. I'll read more into it so I can understand it better. But just listening to it right now in real time, it sounds like par for the course. It sounds like very much like what every woman does in general.
Now, every woman doesn't do that. That's what like you keep saying every, all, and many. That's not what happened.
Most women do not give up their bodies unless they feel compelled to do so.
My wife
usually they only feel compelled to do so by the actions of the man. So if the man by his actions or by his inactions. So if the man is not doing what they want him to do, oftentimes the vagina is very dry.
Let me ask you this.
Par for the course.
Let me ask you this, public. let's say you're the financial breadwinner within your relationship, right? And your wife, you don't want, your wife is doing something that you disapprove of, and you punish her by withholding funds, right? And then
Financial abuse is different.
and then you punish her by withholding. It's your funds.
Financial. Once again,
Financial abuse, right?
Financial abuse is different
So you
than what you're
understand
describing.
financial abuse, right?
Yeah.
So how is it that you can understand that in that situation with financial abuse, if I punish my wife by withholding funds, or if I reward my wife by giving her funds when she does the things that I want her to do, or she moves in the way that I want her to move, I give her money. I withhold money if she doesn't act in the way. You would say that that's financial
Let me
abuse.
ask you a few
How is
questions.
it not the same?
Do you need smacks to survive in this society?
No,
No. Do you need money to survive?
no.
All right, see, Dave, you got to go, bro. You
All
just
right.
lying. You just lying for the sake of lying at this point.
All right,
That's
take it easy. No problem.
all right. That was gnarly. Oh, I'm frozen. I'm frozen on YouTube. Come on, y'all. Oh man, come on, y'all. We can't be lying when the truth will do. That come on. Come on, y'all. I just want to go one day where we don't lie when the truth will do. Just one day. Hey, we cracked 100,000. We cracked 100,000. Oh, we gonna mute Mr. Facts for the live. He likes to come in here and just say weird stuff. So we'll just mute Mr. Facts. He can watch though. I know he a fan. What's good with it?
Right. Can you hear me actually?
I can. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So before I go to the prompt, I want clarity on something, if you don't mind.
Please.
Cool. So in the situation, right, I'm not condoning this, by the way, but in a situation where somebody does get hit by their partner or they do get slapped by their partner, is it a rational expectation that they may or may not get hit back based on who they're dealing with?
Is it a rational expectation?
Yes.
Rational.
Okay, cool. Then we have no problem. It is whatever. In terms of like why growth is never an option for men, I don't think that the way we approach problems is based on growth. It's more like I exist and I'm currently where I'm at. I'm fine, and the problem is other people. But based on that, people don't believe that they need to grow because they think that they're fine as they are.
Yeah. They do.
So yeah, but when it comes to like things like counseling, most of us aren't necessarily taught to process things and talk about it and communicate. It's more, if I have a feeling, it's a problem to solve, not a problem to talk about or to essentially fix in the future. It's more like, yeah, I would rather go to the gym and deal with it and just suppress it rather than make myself a healthier person for the future, which is typically why people stay with harmful partners in the first place.
Why do they
Because
stay
just
with
wanna
harmful partners?
So I think they stay with harmful partners because they suppress the part of themselves that would leave. Like, to admit that you need to leave somebody based on the fact that they make you angry would kind of go against the fact that you have feelings in the first place. And then that goes against the idea that you are a man. So I think that they firm it and they stay in the relationship because they think it's what they're supposed to do. Because, like, think about it. If you're being abused by somebody, right, in that relationship, you should leave. But that could also go against the idea that you are a man because then you're surrendering to the idea that you're leaving based on the idea that you're weak. That's why I think a lot of people don't leave. They think that they're weak for leaving.
I don't know about that one, brother. Maybe, but I don't buy into that. I think
Why
I think a
not?
lot of people don't leave because I think men don't leave because they benefit from the relationship. And yeah, I think most of the time men don't leave because they benefit from the relationship more than the woman is benefiting. And I think women leave because typically they can't take the abuse anymore. That's what I think.
Okay. That's fine. I literally just wanted to come up and ask that. But yeah, I'll drop back down. Thank you.
Okay. Kurt, what's good?
Hey, thank you for accepting me. I'm just learning how to use stuff. So, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
But I appreciate you. I don't really have a lot to say at all. I just wanted to test that this being able to go live, and you're the one that came up on my feed, and I like the conversation. So I do feel like that dude, that C dude or whatever, C Dave, man, devil's advocate with you. That's all.
You think he was just playing devil's advocate?
Well, I don't know what he's really like, but I wrote on there about Maya Angelou. People show you and tell you who they are, just believe.
I
He
believe him. I
definitely told,
believe he is that person.
yeah, he definitely showed and told who he was. And I am a psychologist, so I'm just gonna say that much. I'm not throwing it out there to mean anything, but it does mean something because I put the years of study in, and he showed me who he was.
He was wilding.
But
I don't know what was going on with him, but he was definitely wilding. I didn't understand it.
I'm
Um,
6 years old, and I appreciate you being patient and me had this experience of learning how to use this because I do a lot of technical stuff. My son's high tuned, very technical. It's just I never go live with anybody. I actually thought you had to have 1,000 people or something to go live. I don't know where I got that from. It may be on Instagram or something else.
mhm.
TikTok, right?
You said you got it on Instagram?
Know what I'm saying? I'm on all of them, like Instagram, but this is TikTok we're on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't need 1,000 people on here, is what evidently because I'm on here with you now.
Yeah. I think you
I
only
ne-
need like 200 or something like that.
yeah,
But hey, Kurt. Oh, you only got 90. That's crazy. I don't know why. I don't know how it's letting you up. You must have paid for something. So I don't know how you got up there.
yeah, I thought it was you're teaching me. I thought it was a number limit, and I didn't have that number.
Yeah. It's supposed to
So
be
I guess
like 200, but you got 90. But
you
yeah.
must be the magic man.
Nah, man. Hey, Kurt, I appreciate you coming up, brother. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. 110,000 likes, man. I'm sorry about that on YouTube. I don't know what happened. My screen froze. I had to shut down my computer, start it all over again. But we bike. But yeah, man. It's about that time. I'm about to have to wrap it up. We did good. 2.5 hours, 2.5 hour live. That was great. Bang the cash app one time for your boy. Let's keep the live alive one time. Let's do it. Let's make it do what it do. You know, it was good. It was good. It was good to be back at home. It was good to be back at the house. It was back. We back at the crib. We back at the crib. I appreciate, man. I appreciate y'all coming up. Shout out to everybody that came up. Everybody on the panel. Shout out to all the old mods. I mean, sorry, all the old. I'm sorry, I'm sleepy. Shout out to the best mods in the business. All the old subs and the new subs. Appreciate you, Venice. Thanks for the cash app. All the old subs, all the new subs. Appreciate everybody that made the cash app. Everybody that liked the live, all the gifts. The comments were commenting. Appreciate everybody on YouTube's. They was going crazy on YouTube's too, man. Fingers crossed that they don't say nothing about this live, hopefully. You missed most of it. Don't worry, it'll be posted on live. I'm sorry, it'll be posted on YouTube. I said on live. What the heck? I'm sleepy as heck. Don't even worry about it. All the lives is on YouTube. All the lives is on YouTube. Hit the YouTube. Subscribe. The Public Offender 100. Yeah, I am. Constant topic. I shouldn't be. We just be in here having fun. Appreciate you, Clarice. Appreciate the cash app. Yeah, we had a good night. I can't believe y'all let C Dave last up here that long. Y'all didn't pay to drop that man. I was a little shocked. I was like, they turned down tonight. The late night live. You just woke up? Damn. Bull said we bro. The late night lives be having people turn down, I guess. I gotta go live. I'm gonna go live in the afternoon tomorrow. Oh man, that was brutal. That was brutal. Highlights of the live was when I got told that women are the ones who are most likely to laugh at their spouses for crying and or significant others for crying, and women would be the first ones to tell men to man up. My son would tell me man up before my wife told me man up, but he wouldn't say it either. So maybe my wife would say it like jokingly. I could see her saying it, but she's never said it to me with any seriousness before that I can remember. There was a whole lot of cap in here tonight. It was a cap factory. Got to get some C. Dave Traumatized Me shirts. Yeah, man. But hey, even she said she never laughed at a male for crying, even if it was for something dumb. I cried in front of my ex once, and he closed the door on me. I left him. Damn. Cop cap is crazy. Also, another highlight was hearing that women are just as violent as men. In what universe? Not understanding that one. That was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah. So I heard some interesting stuff tonight. But come back tomorrow, Ops. We'll be back. It was no harm, no foul. I just got burnt out. The argument when I ask you a blatant question and you lied to me several times already. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it no more. I had to end it. You made me go to sleep. So yeah. Okay. Peace out, YouTubes. Nothing but lies. Oh, we got a dude with 0 followers and 0 following. I believe it is C. Dave. I'm sorry, not C. Dave. Sorry, C. Dave. I didn't think it was you. I thought it was Mr. No Facts. Oh yeah, that was crazy. All right. That's it. That was a great live. I'm going to bed. I told myself I wasn't gonna go past when my phone died. I ended up plugging in my phone, and I didn't want to go past 12. Here we are at 12:40. So I'm out. I holla.